Today I'm going to talk about how Australian birthday parties can be a little bit different to the rest of the world. And I'm not talking about how it's different for everyone. I mean, everyone's birthday parties in Australia are going to be ever so slightly different. But this is just our experience as a family coming from the UK to live in Australia. Now, the first major difference that I noticed in Australia is that parties often happen in public parks or like people's homes. But even just the concept of having a party in the park, I mean, that was just not really a thing in the UK. A couple of reasons mainly. The weather is just unpredictable. Even the Queen had 2 birthdays because they were just never sure that the weather would be okay. And also the fact that the parks are just in a dismal condition. I remember on our local Facebook group when we left the UK, thank God we left, and someone had posted on the neighbourhood group, don't go down the slide at the park today because someone's pooed down it. Now, that's not to say that all parks are fantastic in Australia. Of course, there are some areas where they're not as nice as others, but I think the fact that even on Bluey they depict it as a normal thing having kids' birthday parties in parks goes to show how much of a thing it is in Australia. And what do you serve at kids' birthday parties in Australia? Well, you know, it really does depend on the climate and the clientele. Sausage rolls, meat pies, they're normally quite a common thing, but not really for 3-year-olds. I'm going to get crucified for saying that now, aren't I? One thing that I think that you cannot live without in an Australian birthday party is fairy bread. Why did we not have that in the UK? Why do foreign people think it's a weird thing to put hundreds and thousands on buttered bread? Quite possibly one of Australia's best inventions, but the rundown of that is for another video. Now, this one I think does genuinely depend on the age of the kids. I mean, this was a toddler's birthday party, so it's not really going to happen that much here, but it can be quite a common thing for parents to just drop off their kids and leave. Probably one more for the older kids. But another thing that I do notice with Australian birthday parties is it's also even more common, even if you've got a toddler birthday party like we do, for older siblings and other kids just to also come along. Even though they're not kind of technically invited, it's a bit of a faux pas just to turn away a kid from having a bit of fun. Why can't they just get involved anyway? It's a free park. Just turn up and play, mate. Who am I to rid you of a little bit of joy? I'm sure if there's any cake left over, you can have some. I don't want to take it home. Now, I'm not going to lie, we did go overboard a little bit on our cake this year. We've just got a really nice family friend who likes making cakes, and turns out she's pretty bloody good at it. But it's also pretty common for just standard store-bought cakes to be bought and then just decorate them a bit, or not. I love a Woolies mud cake. I mean, this is pretty common in other places in the world as well. In the UK, I do miss a Colin the Caterpillar cake. But I guess that kind of goes into the next point, which is just about kids' birthday parties can be just a really casual affair. Sure, you got the idiots that just want to go absolutely crazy, like they spend so much, and it's normally balloons, isn't it? Like, mate, why do you have to spend so much money on balloons? But I think it's got something to do with the whole Australian she'll be right, mate. Like, at the end of the day, it's a kid's birthday party. As long as people are having fun, surely it's a better thing to just, I don't know, spend the money on the intense cost of living. Is your kid really going to remember you having some extra balloons or a particularly fancy cake? I mean, look at it, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, which is another thing, ironically, because kids' birthday parties can be held really early in the day. You don't have to wait for like peak time, because let's face it, as well, as a parent, who wants to be going to a kid's birthday party when there are, you know, I'm going to say it, other better things to do? So just hold it from like 10 till 12, mate, and let people get on with the rest of their day. Whose genius invention was that? Because I swear when I lived in the UK, kids' birthday parties, it was like a thing that you'd make it at a really awkward time, and then you'd feel begrudged to take your kid along to something and actually have a childhood because you've probably got something better to do and you have to reorganise your life. One thing that we got scorned for one year having a party, is it a thing in Australia that presents seem to be opened during the party in front of everyone? Because that's, I think, a British tradition that we're gonna kind of keep. We just like opening our presents with the kids at the end of the party. I mean, my wife keeps saying that it's easier for us to then keep track of who got us what and then to organise thank yous. Maybe that's because of the British politeness. I don't know. We got told off one year by one parent who asked if we were going to open their kid's present to our kid, and they looked at us weird when we said no. I think it's nice that kids get to see what it is that they got each other, but when you've only got a 2-hour-long party and the whole present opening thing can sometimes take a while, all the kids really want to do is just play on the slides anyway. Happy birthday is always a good one. I just love the fact that in Australia it seems to be sung louder, more people join in. I swear I've joined in on a happy birthday that wasn't even the party that I was attending. Just why not? Celebrate the kid's birthday, mate. And then they do that hip 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 hooray thing afterwards. I don't remember really doing that in England. It must be an Australian thing. And you just want to be the person that actually starts the hip hip hooray bit. I don't know if some people kind of get anxiety about having to organise parties for their kids. When I used to live in England, it always seemed to be a big palaver really. But here it's actually quite joyful, being able to celebrate in the birth of your kid, or even some other person's kid, and either being able to help out with a bit of bring a plate, get there a bit earlier and just generally chip in. Feels like the Australian way sometimes. I know we moved here without much family support, so there's not always that help that's afforded to us, being migrants living in Australia. By building your own community, you are helping to build an extended family for your own kids when they celebrate their birthday. I think we've embraced most of the new Australian traditions, particularly when it comes to having our kids celebrate the day of their birth. And I personally believe in Lucky's dad's rules for pass the parcel. I mean, you know, our kid here is a little bit too young, but she's got time to grow into it. And quite honestly, I can't wait until she does. If you've watched this long and you're interested in our journey moving to Australia and you're thinking to yourself, how do I get to have a kid's birthday party in Australia like you, Ross? Well, you can either come over as a visitor, which won't mean you can last here very long, but if you want to live here permanently and you don't know where to start, then you want to consider speaking to our friends True Blue Migration Services. Now, we've been working with them for longer than my youngest daughter has been alive, and together we've helped hundreds, if not thousands of people find out what their next steps are to move to Australia. Mention that Johnston Life when you check out the details down in the description, and you'll be able to find out for free exactly what visas are open for you. And even better, because we've been working with them for so long, you'll be able to save $200 off the cost of your visa and get better service than my 3-year-old did at her birthday party. Don't worry, she's only 3. Speak to them today on their website www.truebluemigration.com, and I'm going to spend the afternoon in my pool. Did you have a good party, mate? Did you have fun? And say see you next time.